Hi guys, it's Sebastian Bates here, the founder of the Warrior Academy and the host of the Warrior Academy podcast. Today I wanted to share with you a short chapter from the book Not a Victim. Not a Victim is a book I wrote in 2021 with the sole aim of helping parents mentor their children through the very, very difficult transition of bullying. I also recorded it as an audiobook, so if you'd like to have that book, then listen to this chapter, get a feel for what it's all about, and then have a look on Spotify or Audible for the audiobook, or even on Amazon for the physical book if you like a paper-based book. I really hope that it helps you prepare your child for the eventuality of going through bullying. Bullying is an inevitable but difficult transition that most of us go through in our lives. And as parents, I think it's really important we act proactively to prepare our children for the eventuality of having to go through it themselves. We can't always be there for our children, but we can give them the tools. We can empower them to face life's obstacles on their own. I hope you enjoy this chapter. Having a mindful conversation. One of the most important steps in combating bullying is opening the lines of communication. How can we help a child without knowing what they are going through? A child can feel ashamed, embarrassed, or guilty when they are being victimized and bullied. We have found that there is often an element of toxic masculinity amongst young boys in particular. They do not want to admit to being bullied for fear of appearing weak. They believe their role is to be strong and masculine, and any deviation from this threatens their persona and role within the family. These feelings are amplified in many of the cultures we've worked within. Having so much technology and information readily at our disposal, plus all the attention-stealing devices we now take for granted, can be overwhelming. Have you ever been trying to do something? Your child has come to you and you say, "Not now." All of us parents fall into this trap on occasion, even while knowing our child is more important than whatever activity we're in the middle of. We need to make sure that our child knows they can come to us with whatever is on their mind, big or small, at any time. A good idea is to introduce a word or sentence that you and your child decide on, which will let you know that your child needs your full attention. It's important that you have a system in place before it is needed, because when a child is troubled by something, they can have doubts about whether to address it, or might feel too ashamed to bring it up. If the process begins too late, when they do share, it is often more challenging and can become a guessing game. Communication is always more challenging when there are emotions involved. Fortunately, this is an action you can take straight away. Pick a moment to have a conversation with your child. Tell them that when something is challenging, they can try to figure it out for themselves, but if they need you, you will be there, no matter the time or situation. Together, come up with a word or sentence that will be your magic button for prompting a conversation about anything that is bothering them. After you have established this magic button, remind your child of it regularly. Otherwise, doubt can kick in and they won't use it. Once you've had the initial conversation, it's important to establish a routine where you check in with your child on a regular basis. If your child does press the magic button, make them a priority. Be fully present, turn off all technology, and focus completely on the conversation to be had. Listen to what your child is saying without judgment, without reaction, criticism, or defensiveness. Try to identify the problem, then discuss it and look for ways to solve it, now and forever. Be realistic about the fact that it might take time. If you're lucky enough to have your parents or whoever mentored or raised you still around, or you have teachers or friends you can speak to, have a mindful conversation with them too. Ask your parents what school was like for them. Were they ever picked on or bullied? Our generation, and certainly our parents' generation, had a kids will be kids mindset and pushed bullying to the side without looking into what was causing it or how to prevent it. It was considered part of growing up and something we couldn't stop, so shouldn't bother tackling. This does make asking your parents about their bullying experiences or even thinking about your own quite difficult. These questions may be more effective if they're not specifically about bullying and instead approach the subject from different angles. Questions such as, Did you have lots of friends at school? Who was your best friend? Did you ever find changing schools difficult? Did you struggle to fit into new social groups? What did you look like? How did you dress when you were younger? Did anyone ever comment on how you looked? What was your nickname at school? Can you remember the first time you felt embarrassed? Can you talk about that? How did you feel? When listening to the answers, remember to respond but not react. Immerse yourself in every word and every feeling. It's up to you to make the conversation as comfortable for them as possible. After this mindful conversation with your parents, you are likely to have a far deeper understanding of their position and of how and why they raised you the way they did. You may even realize that you need to forgive them in order to grow yourself. Parenting can be much like bullying, a flow of negativity. The way we parent is determined by our experiences and ultimately our emotional triggers. It is our duty as parents to recognize and address these. I really hope you enjoyed today's Warrior Academy podcast episode. We're going to keep creating these episodes because I know that so many parents find them useful or get insights or get ideas about how to develop their child's character. But it all comes down to the 3 C's: confidence, conduct, and concentration. So if you want to get a deep insight into the levels of confidence your child has, the level of concentration they have, or the level of conduct they have, so that you can actually put a score next to it and then work towards increasing those scores like we do in the Warrior Academy, then I'd love to invite you to fill in the Breakthrough Area Assessment. It takes about 5 minutes of your time, and you will get a personalized PDF report on your child's 3 C's. To access the Breakthrough Area Assessment and find out your child's 3 C's score, all you need to do is go to www.breakthrougharea.com.